row over Chandrababu Naidu's arrest continues to simmer. Protests now raging on across Andhra Pradesh as TDP workers have called for a bandh today over arrests of their leader. In fact, we saw violent protests and clashes that were witnessed in Chittoor, where buses and public property was vandalized by TDP workers. As Naidu was remanded to 14-day custody yesterday, Naidu's son and TDP General Secretary Nara Lokesh accompanied his father to prison, waited outside the gate to register his protest over his father's arrest. The ex-Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister's son expresses his anguish over the arrest, judicial remand of his father. In fact, lashing out at the YSRCP government, saying that his father has been unjustly thrown into remand for a crime that he never committed. Meanwhile, Pawan Kalyan has also launched a scathing attack on Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy, underscored that he is misusing his powers and that Naidu's arrest is completely wrong. Remember, Chandrababu Naidu was arrested by the CID in an alleged 371 crore rupees corruption case on the 9th of September.
So first of all, this kind of ruckus which has become a practice for the YCP government right from the day one. They started destructing a property the moment they came into power. And the destructive politics and the Vendetta politics has become a norm in AP. And the way we look at it is, we had been doing this continuously for the last 4 years, and this is not something new. And I have my own disagreements with Mr. Chandrababu Naidu. This particular issue, whatever they are saying, I feel it is not right. And it doesn't hold any water. That's what we look at it.
So this is basically the allegations that have been put up against TDP Chief Chandrababu Naidu, that he has, there is a fraud that has taken place. He's alleged a fraud around to the tune of 300 crores. And this has taken place. The YSCP is claiming that they have evidence for it, and the procedure that is being followed is because they have proper evidence. So what do you have to say about it?
Now, who is saying it? The man who was in jail for more than 2 years, and who is going through multiple cases, and he did enough corruption, rampant corruption. Even to go leave the country, he has to, court has to give him kind of permission. So what we look at is, it is something purely vendetta. It's a vendetta politics, and he can create any reason. The power is in their hands. When G20 is happening, the G20, very prestigious G20 is happening in Delhi under the leadership of Modi ji. And the first time India has taken the leadership. And every state should have created such kind of atmosphere where it won't deviate. That entire people's focus should not have got deviated from the G20 summit. And this guy particularly has done this around this time. He has chosen to do around this time. And that shows this guy doesn't have any integrity, doesn't have any sensitivity.
You believe that TDP has got sympathy vote now with this issue that is going on?
Definitely, it's a very natural process. And in fact, he's helping TDP in a way.
All right. Now, joining me live, I'm going to quickly cut across to the IT and Commerce Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Gudivada Amarnath. Thank you very much, Mr. Amarnath, for joining us and speaking to India today. We know that there is a law and order situation in your state currently with opposition leader, TDP Chief Chandrababu Naidu, being arrested. You have TDP members and their workers on the streets there creating quite some ruckus, calling this vendetta politics. We heard Pawan Kalyan speak as well, blaming the Jagan Mohan Reddy government. What's your take on that?
Yeah, hi Nabila. See,
Hello, sir.
Pawan Kalyan is the adopted son of Chandrababu Naidu, so I don't take much about his comments. But coming to Chandrababu Naidu's arrest and the opposition leader speaking it as a vendetta politics and all. See, when Chandrababu Naidu was Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh during 2014 to 2019, this all happened. When 2014, after he came into power, the foundation was laid for this scam during 2014, August, September months. See, he has almost looted 371 crores of public money, which is in the government account. He has looted 371 crores in 5 phases, saying that Siemens, we are tying up with Siemens for setting up 5 center of excellences in the state of Andhra Pradesh for skill development and all. See, that's why we showcase Chandrababu Naidu as a skilled criminal. See, he has a lot of scams in his pocket. See, during from 1995, after he became chief minister first in the United States of Andhra Pradesh. He was chief minister for almost 14 years. There are a lot of scams. There is a scam called Eleru scam. There is a registration stamp scam. After he came into power in 2014, there was Amaravati land scam. There was a capital scam. There was Visakhapatnam lands. There was a scam. After that, there were a lot of issues he was facing. And in skill development scam, he was clearly mentioned in the activity for pressurizing the officers in his office to release the amount of 371 crores to different shell companies, saying that we are setting up skill development institutes all over the state. So after the inquiry, a lot of them were arrested by ED. There is a person called Sanjay Bose. There was a person called Karnataka. There was some persons called Ganta Subbaya. There were a lot of involved in which the main culprit of this total scam was Chandrababu Naidu. So that is the reason why he was taken into remand for 14 days. So there is no vindictive politics. So we are into politics since generations. And Jagannath Reddy being the chief minister, that we are running a political party. Why do you think that we will do this just before the election? So this
I just like to ask you, Mr. Amarnath, that the way and manner with which Chandrababu Naidu was arrested, your police swooped in to his camp while he was doing a yatra at around 3 a.m. we believe. At 3 a.m. the police arrived to arrest him. It was his guards who stopped the police, waited until 6 a.m. for him to be taken by the police. So what was the reason for this dramatic arrest of Chandrababu Naidu right in the middle of the night?
See, Nabila, the police or the department, the anti-corruption bureau or the CID arrived at the location in the midnight, but he was arrested or he was taken into custody only in the morning at around 6 a.m. after he was...
Because Chandrababu Naidu's security resisted. That's what we hear.
It's not the issue. It's not the security who's testing. When he was in a corruption allegation or he was registered in a case, he was there in the FIR. He was one of the accused person. Even though taking him as ex-chief minister of Andhra Pradesh, we have given him time. We have taken into custody only after 6 a.m. in the morning. So he was brought back. We have organized a helicopter for bringing him into Vijayawada, but he refused to come in the chopper. So he asked that he drive down to Vijayawada. We got him on the road. We took him into custody in Vijayawada, and everything as per procedure. There is nothing like we have taken revenge against Chandrababu Naidu.
So you've gone as per protocols and procedure. Well, we understand that, Mr. Godiwada Amarnath, but what we see here is Pawan Kalyan, who's spoken to India Today exclusively, says that this is nothing but vendetta politics. Pawan Kalyan was wanting to head towards his office, party office, and while on his way to Vijayawada, he was stopped by the Andhra police. His flight was not allowed to land. He was not allowed to venture into the area. His convoy was blocked off. He finally stepped out of his car and slept on the street and whatnot. This has really become quite a mess in the state. What was the reason to take him into preventive custody? Pawan Kalyan.
See, we have taken him into custody. We have sent him to his office or his place where he used to stay in Andhra Pradesh. See, when there is an issue in the state, when there is some law and order in the state, so there are some protocols for the police to follow. So it's only a reason of being an actor, doing some activity. There is some activity in the state of Andhra Pradesh where some happenings are going on. And during that time, when there is a procedural activity, as a citizen of the country or as a citizen of the state, he has to follow some protocols, he has to follow some rules. We have asked him not to enter into Andhra Pradesh for some reasons because there is some issues happening in the state. Even though he came into the state without any permission from the police department, he slept on the roads, he slept on the roads for some time. We asked him to go to his office.
So you're saying that has further created tensions and it's become hard now for the police to contain law and order.
Tell me now.
No, I'd like to ask you if now in the run-up to the Andhra Pradesh elections, Mr. Amarnath, we know that there's been a sort of war between the TDP and the YSRCP over who's the NDA ally, who's the BJP's ally. May I ask you, if you could divulge more details, are you in alliance with the BJP?
How do you think that we are in alliance with NDA?
It's my question to you.
I know, but since 2011, after we established, we have established a party, Jagannath Reddy Garu established a party in 2011. It has been almost 12 years that we have completed our party's 12th anniversary in the recent times. We are not in alliance with any of the political party in the country or in the state.
But you have been supporting BJP on the most crucial bills in the Rajya Sabha, where...
See, we have told many times during the president elections or many of the bills that are coming into the parliament or many of the issues that are coming in the country, we have given only a certain, on the certain bills we are supporting the government, on certain bills we are opposing the government. See, it is a point to point, like bill to bill we are giving support or we are not giving support to the central government. It's not that we are part of NDA, we are supporting NDA, or we are in alliance with NDA. It's Chandrababu Naidu or Pawan Kalyan supporting NDA. And Chandrababu Naidu is trying to with NDA. Pawan Kalyan is a part of NDA right now. We are not in support or we are not in alliance with any of the political parties in the country. We are only in alliance with the people of Andhra Pradesh. People of the people of Andhra Pradesh will go to elections as a single party. We're going to come into power in the next elections as well. So there's no point of saying that we are in support with NDA.
All right. A final word from you, Mr. Amarnath. Now, we know that the CBI has taken up this case. They're grilling Chandrababu Naidu. In fact, he's currently in prison. We know that in that entire prison area, the Section 144 that's been deployed. So it's a very sensitive issue in your state right now. It could erupt in a riot-like situation because we know that people are outside sitting in front of prison waiting for Chandrababu Naidu to come out. Nara Lokesh, Chandrababu Naidu's son, is camping outside the prison there. So what is the word that you want to say to the public and people of Andhra Pradesh who are watching you?
One or two visuals that you shown in the initial breakings, there is no such situation in the state. Everything is calm and going good. Everybody, all the people on the roads, all the people are going to their works, all the schools are going on, all the colleges are going on, all the private or the government buses are there.
But buses were attacked, stone pelting was reported. These are instances that are real.
See, Nabila, that's just one or two situations somewhere in around Chittor or some other places. Overall, the situation is very calm. The law and order is in right position. It's only the son who is sitting outside the jail. It's nobody else. Even the party cadre of the Telugu Party are not even on the roads. They are all silent because it's not a political case. Or it's not a political vindictive activity. It is that he has done corruption, he has looted public money, he has looted 371 crores of public money in one of the scams. So this is the reason for even the Telugu Party leaders or all the other political party leaders to come and support Chandrababu Naidu. It's not because it's a criminal activity, it's a corruption activity, it's a corruption allegation in which the court has agreed for that and has given him 14 days remand. So probably all the people of the state of Andhra Pradesh are supporting the law, supporting our government's activity. So probably there is no situation of law and order, any disturbance in the state of Andhra Pradesh.
All right, you're in control there, but thank you very much for answering all those questions. Godivada Amarnath, who is the Commerce and IT Minister, joining us live here on India Today. Thank you, sir. All right, let me quickly cut across to Pattabhiram Komar Reddy, who's the spokesperson of the TDP, joining us to give us a little perspective into what exactly are the allegations against Chandrababu Naidu and why do they call this as vendetta politics. We also have Ravi Chandra Reddy, the spokesperson of the YSRCP, joining us. But to you, sir, Pattabhiram, why are you calling this vendetta politics when this is a case that's been taken with serious effect by the agencies accusing Chandrababu Naidu to, while being in power, has scammed the public money of nearly 371 crores?
Nabila, good afternoon.
Yes,
this is 100% a case of political vendetta. They do not have any kind of evidence with them. these are all baseless allegations that are being leveled against Chandrababu Naidu garu because Chief Minister Jagan Reddy is not able to face him democratically. The entire state of Andhra Pradesh, the 5 crore people of Andhra Pradesh are strongly behind Chandrababu Naidu garu, and we are seeing the ground visuals. Wherever Chandrababu Naidu garu is visiting, thousands of people are coming onto the roads to welcome him. So Jagan Reddy is a worried man. Even in the recent survey that India Today carried out with Sea Voter, they have predicted that if elections are held today, TDP will win more than 15 Lok Sabha seats, and the number is bound to increase. So Jagan Reddy knows that he is facing a huge defeat. So it is only because of that worry. And
Sir, I mean, in that sense, you have got 22 seats only the previous assembly elections. You hope to get 123, but with 22, you're saying that you all are going to sweep the coming elections. This is vendetta politics. I'm not able to really comprehend. Is it really
Nabila,
political? Yes, sir.
Nabila,
Are you saying Chandrababu Naidu is innocent?
Yes, 200%. Not only I. The remand report that the Jagan Reddy's government had presented in the court, that itself had said that they do not have any evidence of the money. I'll just read out 2 sentences in the remand report copy which I have in page number 21. What they have said: the end use of the monies which are apparently being drawn out as cash and parked with Vikas Kanvilkar are required to be ascertained. What does that mean? What does required to be ascertained mean? It says that they don't even know. They have not found out anything. So they themselves are saying in the remand report that they don't know where the money had gone. If you yourselves do not know where the money is, how can you say that Chandrababu Naidu is involved? And there is one more sentence which I want to read. They are basing the entire case on an IT notice, which no one knows, which no one has seen. And they themselves have written in this report that the certified copies of the evidences from the Income Tax Department, for receiving them, we have written a letter to the Chairman, Central Board of Direct Taxes, New Delhi, and the material that has to be obtained is pending. They have written a letter to the Income Tax Department. They have not given them any material, and they themselves are saying that it is pending. So with what evidence you have? You don't even have the copy of the income tax notice.
All right, you're saying no evidence. You're saying no evidence. This is an innocent Chandrababu Naidu who has been taken into custody because Jagan Mohan Reddy fears an election loss in the upcoming 2024 assembly election. Yes. Right, sir. We heard you.
Nabila,
yes, sir.
It is not me. It is their remand report. It is they who are saying that they don't have any evidence. So this arrest is completely illegal. So we will fight it out in the court.
Right. Well, I have with me Ravichandra Reddy as well. But Mr. Ravichandra Reddy, just bear with me for just a minute. I'm going to cut across to first Abdul Bashir, who's our reporter, our correspondent, who's on ground there in Andhra Pradesh. He was the one who got the interview of Pawan Kalyan first in exclusive on India Today, where Pawan Kalyan has called this Vendetta. Bashir, we know that this situation is sensitive in Andhra Pradesh currently. TDP chief being arrested, former chief minister multiple times, has really spiked emotions among the janta there. We believe stone pelting reported, buses being demolished or vandalized. So the situation is quite sensitive. While the TDP says he is innocent, it's vendetta. Give us a little more on the call for proof the TDP is asking for. There's no proof?
See, basically what the YSRCP has said is that there are 140 witness statements that have been recorded pertaining to this particular case, the Skill Development Corporation scam. And after having proper evidences is that they have approached the court. And now a thorough investigation into it has led to this, arrest and judicial custody is what the YSRCP had been telling. But on the other side, TDP has called it as vendetta politics and also stating that there's several other, the names that were given in the FIR, 36 names, they were nowhere, Chandrababu Naidu was not mentioned in that FIR. And it is true. And Chandrababu Naidu was included through a MOU.
So what does it really mean? What does this translate
in this
into?
Particular case.
Abdul Bashir, what does this translate into? Chandrababu's name has not been mentioned in the FIR, but he's the man who's been arrested.
So basically, he has been included after an investigation, is what the YSRCP is telling. 140 statements against Chandrababu Naidu. The bureaucrats are also stating that it was the chief minister under whose supervision all this transaction of funds had been done, is what is being claimed. So basically, after this arrest, after this judicial custody, the tension is prevailing in several districts of Andhra Pradesh. We have seen in the morning that Chittoor district there were vandalization of buses, and a state-wide bandh call has been given by TDP. But yes, the police is trying to control situation in every corner where protests are being erupted.
Well, we have the YSRCP spokesperson itself, Abdul Bashir. Stay with us. A quick word from Ravi Chandra Reddy. Sir, TDP says you've arrested their chief on flimsy grounds. There's no concrete proof against Chandrababu Naidu. It's all about election fear. You're worried of losing the upcoming assembly elections, and therefore you arrest Chandrababu Naidu. That's what Pawan Kalyan says too.
Basically, Chandrababu Naidu is not going to escape this time because he done thousands of crores of scams in Andhra Pradesh. Head of the scam creator is Chandrababu Naidu. And Chandrababu Naidu is having IT notices, income tax notices already parallelly, and income tax given 46-page notice about 118 crore regarding in another scam. And Enforcement Directorate also intervened and served the notices to Chandrababu Naidu. This time blaming that vendetta politics as a common practice for all politicians. This is not going to be like that because we are having enough circumstantial and concrete evidences in all circumstances. Chandrababu Naidu is going to be in prison continuously. He may be getting for 10 years in prison because the thing, I am referring one more case. Om Prakash Chautala of Haryana, how he swallowed the funds from teachers recruiting. Chandrababu Naidu swallowed so many amounts. Huge amounts, thousands of crores. We are having enough evidences. And regarding Pawan Kalyan is a pure paid artist of Chandrababu Naidu. He is not a politician.
Sir, a quick word. You have the TDP accusing YSRCP of being corrupt. They are claiming that there are so many cases of money laundering, etc., against Jagan Mohan Reddy itself. So if you want to crack down on corruption, you begin with your own government netas. This is what the TDP says.
When Chandrababu Naidu is saying this, he completely he done all the false things. But Jagan Mohan Reddy is not CM at that time. The cases has been framed. He differed with Sonia Gandhi ji. At that time, he left Congress party. That's why that is vendetta. This is not vendetta. And now, as a CM, as Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, he committed all the crimes, he swallowed all the funds, and he written note files, he signatured, and he ordered everybody to swallow the funds. It was rerouted, and the final beneficiary is Chandrababu Naidu. We are having enough evidences in these circumstances, and he is not going to be let out. And regarding election or election fever and vote politics, we are not going to bother.
Because you're not going to budge. As a wrap here, we heard you, sir.
People are with YSR Congress Party. They know
people are with YSR, but I'll take that final word from Pattabhiram as I wrap. A last word, Mr. Pattabhiram, if you can tell me what is the TDP's action. He says that Chandrababu Naidu is now gone for a long time, gone in prison for a long time. Your last word, 30 seconds.
Yeah. See, if there is corruption in the skill development issue, then how did the 42 centers are there on the ground and functioning? More than 2 lakh people have got trained in those skill development centers. Thousands of jobs were created. So there is absolutely no corruption and there is absolutely nothing to prove. And Jagan Reddy has no moral right. One point. Jagan Reddy has no moral right. Jagan Reddy has no moral right.
Bogus invoice has been raised and money has been
rerouted.
And shell companies have been floated. Shell companies have been floated in name of Siemens.
And I'll tell you one example. What about the Delhi liquor scam? What about the Delhi liquor scam?
Siemens has been declared that with the bogus invoices and the money rerouting and which shell companies have, the money has been looted.
The Delhi liquor scam.
All right.
He had
We heard both of you loud and clear, Kumar Reddy and Ravi Chandra. Sir, we're just a little limited on time. I'm so sorry, but we heard you loud and clear. Kumar Reddy, we heard you loud and clear. TDP members at this point, even as we speak, are right outside the prison cell where Chandrababu Naidu has been lodged. He's now been sent to 14-day judicial custody. His son, Nara Lokesh, is seated right outside, camping relentlessly. Protests have begun. Many zones have been declared as sensitive. Section 144 has been imposed right outside the prison where Chandrababu Naidu is. Abdul Bashir continues to track most of those developments for us. But for now, thank you very much, our panelists, Ravi Chandra and Pattabhiram, for joining us on that. There's news coming in from Delhi as there's been a ban on sale of bursting crackers sale and bursting of crackers all along the winter season. No sale and bursting of crackers in Delhi, and that ban will remain until winter is over. This is a big update coming in. Of course, there's been usually opposition on this move, as the BJP often criticizes the Aam Aadmi Party of trying to hurt Hindu sentiments. We know that Diwali is around the corner. At this point, a complete ban has been declared on sale and bursting of crackers in Delhi all along winter. And let me cut across to Amit Bharadwaj joining us for more on that. Amit, Diwali around the corner, several Hindu festivals where crackers are usually burst, and it's really the only way that many of them celebrate Diwali. Now you have the Delhi government deciding a complete ban on sale of firecrackers, and bursting them will call for punishment. Tell us more on this rule now.
Right, Nabila, this is the second year in row when Delhi government has come with a blanket ban on crackers under its winter action plan. Now remember, we had seen a couple of years back a lot of controversy erupting because these cracker bans used to come up around Diwali itself, but from last year there was a policy change that the moment from when Delhi expects the air quality worsening due to the weather conditions, that's when the winter action plan starts kicking in. And as per the winter action plan, there's complete ban, blanket ban on bursting of firecrackers. Now, what does that mean? You cannot burst firecrackers in the national capital. That is a rule. Number two, sale of firecrackers, putting up stalls and keeping it in your stores, that would be banned, as well as any sort of license that is provided in the national capital to sell firecrackers. That will not be given by the administration either. The Delhi police has been told to not give such licenses to any person in the national capital as and when the winter action plan kicks in. Now, we have seen the controversies erupting because of policy decisions of this sort, but the experience of last year suggests that this particular decision had made the life of Delhiwalas slightly easier because remember, it's combination of factors that makes the air quality of Delhi completely unhealthy around Delhi. On one hand, you already have climatic conditions because of which the wind flow is really low, which means that suspended particles remain in the air. Then the firecrackers, a lot of festivities because of its firecrackers are burst in the national capital, and along with that, Farali menace, which surrounds the entire national capital region around that time. So it is a triple whammy that occurs during the festivity time, which the residents of the national capital have to face. Now, because of this policy, what we'll see is that there will be a blanket ban on the firecrackers, no bursting of firecrackers, no sale, no retail, and licenses will not be provided to any businessman as far as the firecracker business is concerned in the national capital. Back to you, Nabila.
Thank you very much, Amit, for joining us on that.
श्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने निर्णय लिया है कि दिल्ली में जो खास तौर से दिवाली के अवसर पे पटाखे जलाने से जो प्रदूषण पैदा होता है उसे रोकने के लिए दिल्ली के अंदर हर तरह के जो पटाखे हैं उनके निर्माण, भंडारण, बिक्री, ऑनलाइन डिलीवरी और उसके जलाने पर जो है पूर्ण प्रतिबंध रहेगा। पुलिस को ये निर्देश जो है वो टीपीसीसी तरह से जारी करने का निर्देश दिया गया है कि किसी तरह का कोई लाइसेंस दिल्ली के अंदर न जारी किया जाए।
अभी आप लोगों ने डीपी इशू करने के लिए?
हाँ जी।
लेकिन सर जो सवाल उठते हैं कि क्योंकि धार्मिक मान्यताओं से, धार्मिक परंपराओं से पटाखा जलाना जुड़ा हुआ है, दीपावली पे लोग सवाल उठाते हैं कि बाकी समय पे आप प्रतिबंध नहीं लगाते हैं, केवल हिंदू मतलब उससे कनेक्ट करके कहा जाता है कि हिंदुओं के धार्मिक त्यौहार पे ऐसा प्रतिबंध लगाया जाता है।
देखिए, मुझे लगता है कि जो नई बदली हुई परिस्थितियां हैं उसमें हमें जितना ही धूमधाम से श्रद्धा के साथ त्यौहार मनाना ज़रूरी है, उतना ही हमें सब लोगों की ज़िंदगी को बचाना ज़रूरी है। इसलिए पिछले 2 साल से इस निर्णय लिया जा रहा है और दिल्ली के अंदर लगातार लोगों का सहयोग मिल रहा है। हमारे दिल्ली के लोगों से यही अपील है कि दिए जला करके धूमधाम से हम दिवाली मनाएं, पटाखों पर रोक लगाएं और लोगों की ज़िंदगी बचाएं। 2018
All right, cutting across to Karnataka, big protests in Karnataka over the Congress allowing for free bus ride for women. We believe that many of the private transport agencies and the private players itself are bearing huge losses as people have moved to now travelling in buses. By and large, women and children now travelling in buses has really affected business of the private parties. Now, Chief Ministers, while at least 32 private unions, transport unions, have come together to condemn this and have listed out their demands to the Chief Minister of Karnataka, Siddaramaiah calls these demands as impossible to meet. Siddaramaiah says, can't deal with impossible demands, can't restrict protesters from stir, but we can't deal with these impossible demands. This is Siddaramaiah, who says that it's not possible to meet with demands that's been made by the private unions. I'm going to cut across to first what Siddaramaiah said before I take you through the list of demands posed by the unions here.
ಅವರು ಈಗ ಇಂಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಗಳು ಇಟ್ಟರೆ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಯೋಜನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ನಾವು, ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳಿಗೆ ಫ್ರೀ. ನಮಗೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು ಯಾರು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಸ್ಗಳಿಗೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕೊಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತೆ ನಾವು? ಅದು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲಿ ನಾಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್. ನಾವು ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳಿಗೆ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ.
All right, let me quickly cut across to Sagai Raj joining us live for more on that. Sagai, we know the list of demands that the union have placed. 32 private transport players who've come together to protest against the free bus ride given to women in the state of Karnataka. So they want, these private unions now want bike taxis to be banned. They want 10,000 aid given to drivers. They want support corporation to be set up. They want low interest loans. They want scholarship for drivers' children. They want to prevent whiteboard vehicles entirely. They want to ban app-based aggregators, basically Uber, Ola, etc. They want to crack down on all those finance companies that are charging them exorbitant interest rates. While some of these demands could be met with or even considered, a lot of the others seem a little over the top. You have Siddaramaiah coming out to say that they are allowed to protest, but we can't meet with these unreasonable demands. Tell us a little more on the strike. How successful is it here in Bengaluru today?
As you rightly pointed out all the points about their demand, it seemed to be quite successful in the city of Bengaluru, where we haven't seen any kind of taxis or auto rickshaws or private buses plying on the roads of Bengaluru. In fact, you get a traffic-free corridor wherever you are roaming in Bengaluru, apart from the place where they are protesting. So it seems to be quite free today. Whoever is cribbing about the traffic today, probably they cannot crib about it. Apart from this, if you notice that the demands of all this private association, the Federation of Karnataka Private Bus Association, it seemed to be quite impractical. 10,000 rupees compensation, welfare schemes for all the drivers, auto drivers, taxi drivers, which includes a scholarship to their students, to insurance for the drivers whoever are plying the vehicles on the streets and the roads of Bengaluru. So the government have already discussed with them, and the government feel that these demands are quite impractical and which cannot be fulfilled on the time. And that is the reason they feel that these kind of discussion with the private players is not going to serve the purpose. As of now, they are protesting here in Bengaluru, and they have also warned that unless they don't get in the writing that their demands will be fulfilled, they'll continue the protest, and probably this will extend to the entire state of Karnataka.
Also, and Sidramaiah has very clearly said that I'm not going to do much about these unreasonable demands. So it means that it's struck down. All their demands have been struck down. Is that what it means?
As we speak now, the Transport Minister of Karnataka, Ramling Reddy, has reached out to them in the Freedom Park. He will try to convince them and talk to them, and whichever is possible by the Karnataka government, they will try to do those demands, and they will try to fulfill those things. And whichever is impractical, it is quite difficult even for the government to go ahead and fulfill their promises. Demands.
Right. Thank you very much, Sagai, for joining us on that. Now, clearly, there's that storm that we see on the streets of Bengaluru. In fact, private transport unions have come together to fire at the Karnataka government for allowing free bus rides to women, and that they claim has been impacting their business. The private transport players' businesses have been affected. In fact, they've now called for a Bengaluru Bandh altogether. They've protested against the Karnataka government's Shakti scheme, which allows for women to travel free in non-premium government buses. Now, the Federation has organized for a protest march from Sangoli Rayana Station, the circle, all the way to Freedom Park in Bengaluru as part of this bandh. The protest is expected to impact private cabs, taxis, buses, cars, affecting city's transportation system. In fact, today, it's almost like a bandh-like situation with many schools, government offices, all affected as movement has been crippled. According to private carriers, the Shakti scheme reduced their income. The private players say that they now want reimbursement from the government for their losses. Slamming the Karnataka government over their freebie schemes, BJP's Rajiv Chandrasekhar has blamed the Sidhu Sarkar for favouring only one community and discriminating against the poor and deprived Hindus.
Federation of Karnataka Private Vehicles Association have called for a Bengaluru Bandh today, where all the vehicles, especially the private buses, auto rickshaws, Olas, Ubers, and all other taxis which flies on the roads of Bengaluru are not flying today. They have called for a Bengaluru Bandh, and as we speak now, you can see that there is a protest march carried out in the city from Andhra Circle to Freedom Park, where they will continue their protest, and their demand is that the Karnataka government have to give some kind of compensation to all the drivers who are facing huge loss because of a Shakti scheme. And they also claim that due to women passengers who are not traveling in autos, Olas and private buses, which is a major cause, even the other passengers, including men and kids, are not traveling because of women are not traveling along with them.
ನೋಡಿ, ಖಾಸಗಿ ವಾಹನದವರು ಇವತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಬಂದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋರಾಟ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಸ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ, ಖಾಸಗಿ ಬಸ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುವಂತ ವಿಚಾರ. ಊಬರು, ಆಟೋರವ್ರಿಗೂ ಬಹುಶಃ ಪಾಪ ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಪ್ರೇರಣೆ ಅಂತ ಕಾಣ್ತದೆ. ನಾವು ಅವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಸಿಂಪತಿ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಆದರೆ ಎದುರಿಸೋದು, ಇಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಯಾಣಿಕರಿಗೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಇದರಿಂದ ಬಹುಶಃ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಖಂಡಿತ ಅವರ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿಚಾರ ಕೂಡ ಗಮನಿಸ್ತದೆ. ನಾವು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ತಿಳಿಸ್ತೇವೆ.
Right, cutting across to these breaking visuals here, big images coming in from Andhra Pradesh as protests over Chandrababu Naidu's arrest escalates. TDP workers hitting the streets against Naidu's arrest. Tadipatri, Anantapur district. This is where the protest is currently taking place as the police takes TDP leaders into custody for organizing this protest, blocking off roads, burning tires, holding flags, raising slogans and condemning the arrest of their chief, TDP's Chandrababu Naidu. Stones pelted at public transport vehicles. These are images where TDP workers have blocked off the streets, tires being burnt, and slogans being raised against the Jagan Mohan Reddy government, calling this vendetta politics. Chandrababu Naidu has been arrested for a corruption case in the skill development ministry while he was the chief minister. A few months after coming to power in 2014, it's accused that the Andhra Pradesh chief minister then, the Telugu Desam party chief, Chandrababu Naidu, proposed to establish an Andhra Pradesh State Skill Development Corporation. It's called the APSSDC. And under this public-private partnership mode, they launched a skill development program for students studying non-professional courses and promoting quality of entrepreneurship in them. Now, in fact, the corporation was set to serve as an executive agency for the Department of Skill Development. And as part of this public-private sector model, Chandrababu Naidu government had signed a memorandum of understanding with Siemens India in 2015, set up 6 skill development centers across the state in collaboration with a private company. So a total project that costed 3,356 crores. Allegations are that he laundered 371 crores for himself.
Minister and State, Andhra Pradesh State BJP Chief Purandareshwari Madam. Madam, Andhra Pradesh is into the news while we've seen G20 going on, and a nationwide appreciation that is going on, and we see the other issue that is rising here. What do you have to say?
No, this is rather unfortunate because the success with which we have completed our G20, I think it is being appreciated not only just in India or nationwide, but rather I think internationally as well. It has gotten great acclaim. And the kind of resolution that was taken, more specifically keeping in mind the food shortage and the price hikes due to the geopolitical tensions that we are facing between Russia and Ukraine. And we have been successful in actually convincing Russia as well to come on board and China as well to come on board while bringing forth the resolution. So I think all of this is a great achievement for India. And I think people are well appreciating it, and it is rather sad that the entire focus, the diversion of focus is now happening here. And I think we should all appreciate the great work that India has done and appreciate the leadership of Modi ji in taking this forward.
So how do you see this ahead of elections when all the parties are gearing up for elections here, and we see that this issue has come up while in the case was, the TDP's claiming case was registered long ago, and now when G20 is the main focus, this issue has been brought. So what do you say, madam? Is it a political vendetta that you can say, or is it, what do you call it?
No, definitely, just as we had raised our voice against the procedural aspects that had happened when they were arresting Sri Chandrababu Naidu ji, in the sense that they had not given him a notice, they did not take an explanation from him, his name was not in the FIR. It was later through a memo that his name was added into the FIR.
All right, that's the BJP president of Andhra Pradesh who says that this is unfortunate while you have the country rejoicing over G20's success. Here you have protests by the TDP on corruption charges against Chandrababu Naidu.